The most audacious chapter in 1931 Manchuria began when Colonel Kanji Ishiwara stepped beyond orders and into history. It was a quiet night along the South Manchuria Railway near Mukden, today's Shenyang, when a small explosive was set off under a sleeper. The blast did little damage, a train passed, but the story that followed was far larger than the crater it left. Japan in 1931 was a country split between civilian politicians in Tokyo and militant officers in the field. The Kwantung Army, stationed in northeastern China to protect Japanese railway interests, had its own idea of national strategy. Driven by officers such as Ishiwara, who argued that Japan's future demanded control of resource-rich Manchuria, this military clique was impatient with diplomacy. On the night of September 18th, they manufactured a pretext. Soldiers disguised as Chinese troops and agents of chaos detonated charges and then reported an attack on the railway, a direct assault on Japanese property. In Tokyo, ministers were stunned. In Manchuria, the Kwantung Army pretended to be under siege. Within hours, troops flooded out of garrisons. The army launched punitive operations, occupied Mukden, and within weeks swept across Manchuria. The pretext, a carefully orchestrated false flag, gave military expansion the veneer of self-defense. That veneer unpeeled quickly. Investigations later revealed that the railway explosion had been too small to halt traffic and had been set by men in Japanese uniforms. The invasion, however, had already succeeded. By early 1932, the Kwantung Army had consolidated territory and engineered the creation of Manchukuo, a nominally independent state with the last Qing emperor, Puyi, as a puppet ruler. Japan's civilian government had been sidelined. A military fait accompli had rewritten policy. The conspiracy was deliberate and stark. Officers on the ground subverted the chain of command, lied to Tokyo and to the world, and then used speed and brutality to cement gains before foreign protests could be organized. The international response was forward and damning. The League of Nations dispatched the Lytton Commission. Its 1932 report found Japan guilty of aggression and recommended Manchukuo's independence be rejected. Tokyo answered not with contrition, but with contempt, withdrawing from the League in 1933 and embracing the very isolation that its officers had sought. The human cost, while diffuse, was real and growing. Manchuria's Chinese, Korean, and minority communities endured dispossession, repression, and the steady militarization of everyday life. The incident normalized a method of statecraft, deception, then occupation, that would ripple through East Asia for the next decade. This was not a lone crime of passion. It was a calculated political homicide of sovereignty. Ishiwara and his colleagues understood that a small, staged act could justify massive force. They exploited fear, the slow years of diplomacy, and a global order reluctant to act decisively. Their success revealed a brutal arithmetic. A little falsehood, deployed at the right moment, could rewrite borders. The Mukden incident stands as a textbook case of state-sponsored deception turned into conquest. It exposes how conspiracies within a military structure can bypass constitutional oversight, how propaganda can precede occupation, and how international institutions without teeth can fail to stop aggression. In the end, the railway blast near Mukden was both trivial and monumental. Trivial in its physical effect, monumental in consequence. It opened a door through which a continent would later descend into wider war. The plotters achieved immediate strategic gains. History paid the long bill. The lesson remains cold and clear. When the instruments of state are allowed to act